Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Elisa Marie Designs. I'm always in a state of confusion, as you can tell me peering at the. Is it on? It's on. Welcome to Wip Wednesday. It is October, I think, 8th. Who knows? And I am here with the iconic, the beautiful, my little Hope Diamond, Adela. Adele, portrait of Adela. I've heard it said both ways. Don't correct me. So this is Diamond Dots, Woman in Gold by Gustav Klimt. And it is, I think it's a rite of passage for most diamond painters. I have a few of my members and subscribers that are following along with this. Hi, guys. Hi. Drop me an email and show me your progress. Sometimes I do wish that we were able to drop pictures in messages here on YouTube, but it's not to be. Anyway, let's see where we are here. I had said last week, I don't think that when we finished last week that I had this part done. And it was, of course, in my delusions of grandeur that I have, that I was going to finish the border. This part I do remember from when I did this with Diamond Painting Shop. It gets a little monotonous. Yeah, it's just like two colors here, maybe three. They're all gold, and I just want to, like you want to see the juicy parts, and I want to get to those parts. So I'm going to, when we do get together, I am going to just be streamlining down the center of this canvas, because, you know, there's like little mosaics, like little portraits here. On this side, there's a little bit more on this side than this side. This side is like a lot of border. And I'm just going to keep it to the center of the canvas where we get into all the juicy bits here. I just had a thought. I know I told you guys last week, this canvas is giving me a complex, and I'm going to put all my jewels on, and I just noticed my wedding band is not on. So I'm not really filling up my end. I'm not keeping to my end of the bargain here. Next week, I'm going to make myself a note. Wear all your jewelry. Adele's giving me a complex here. And I know that I do this to you guys every time I open up this camp. Just look at it. Look at it. It is so gorgeous. There are 12 enhancements. I count the AB as an enhancement. So there's 12. You want to say 12 enhancements and 1 AB, you go right ahead. I mean 11 with 1 AB, go right ahead. I don't. So I think that there's 12. Anyway, and there's like 7 just regular drills. This kit is crazy. I want to be the marketer for this kit. I want to buy stock first, and then I want to market it. But I would have blown this kit out of the water. I don't think that I think that diamond painting is, you know, it's a slow climb with diamond painting. We see more and more diamond painters coming onto the scene, but I don't really hear people go on about how iconic this is and how beautiful it is. Well, anyway, that's my opinion. So I took off this big, except I did get the washi tape back out. I know, I'm contradicting myself with the washi tape, but let me get my aligner here. I needed to just carve out a piece of this canvas, and I am going to be working here. I think I have, there's some little bezels that we can put in. I would love to get into this section. So there's only way to do that, and that's for me to shut up. You're like, yeah, is she still talking? When is she getting to the canvas? Is she still talking? Look how cute my shirt is. Those of you that know Smudge, and I believe that these are like the women of something, I don't know. Remember that big, the women of New Jersey. Is it Desperate Housewives of New Jersey? I don't know. I don't watch those things, but my husband loves Smudge. And I'm like, I have a take on Smudge with Japanese ladies. I just love it. I love it. The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Remember when they had that big fight? And they replaced whoever was here eating a salad with Smudge. We love Smudge. We're turning into cat people. Anyway, I'm done. Here we go. Here we go. Let's start with, I love to carve out my painting with black. So I'm going to start there. I'm going to start with putting the black in. The black is so wonderful. These are rounds. This is a round kit. And they're so beautiful and shiny. I mean, we know that, why am I working with you? We know that the black has a lot of trash. And that's because black is the most manufactured drill, the most manufactured color. Let me get my little crown out here too. And that's why, you know, you get a lot of trash here. So I have my beautiful leopard Leopold pen that I think, you know, sometimes I just curate it for the picture. Let me get my pretty stuff in here. I love all the pretty things, but I'm easily distracted. And I have my other little diamond painting glass pen, but it's not glass, it's plastic. Here we go. Anyway, all right, I'm done. Here we go. I think that I'm a little bit wound up because my mother just called me, and I know why she's calling. She's tracking this hurricane, and I was in a hurricane. I lived in Sarasota, Florida when Hurricane Andrew, that was 1992. I had just moved to Florida, and I know I told some of you guys this story. I mean, I hate that. The bane of my existence, getting putty on the canvas. Oh, it just drives me nuts. Come off. Oh, I hate it so much. I found a use for these tweezers because I'm afraid of these tweezers. Now, if you want, I have these things on my desk, like an orange wood stick. Here she goes with the tips. Does she ever stop? No. I could just put a little alcohol in here. Just a tiny bit. And I dip my orange wood stick in here. It absorbs so quickly. It doesn't hurt the drills. You can see I put a puddle in there. And I can just... It's gone. It drives me crazy. And I was waiting until the canvas was done, you know, or the area was done, and then I was brushing it off, but it just drives me nuts. Anyway, I think I told some of you guys that I lived in Florida, in Sarasota, and my son was in first grade, and he comes home with this, you know, box. I'm like, oh, what do you got? He's like, I got a hurricane survival kit. I'm like, oh, that's nice. So I open it up. He had like a little flashlight, and he had a big map with push pins, and they were going to track tropical depressions. And every morning he got up, and I got up with him, of course. And, you know, while I was preparing his breakfast, he was tracking tropical depressions in the Atlantic. And he's like, Mom, I got one, you know, and he put this push pin in, and it didn't stop. He put it into the where it was, and it didn't end. This thing made a straight line. And he's like, oh, my tropical depression is now a hurricane. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, it's called Hurricane Andrew. And I just knew, you know, when you just know that this is going to be significant. It was just that, I guess because my son was tracking it, and I was watching the trajectory of this thing, and I was like, this is not going to be good. I could just tell. I could tell by this thing is moving, and it never deviated. You know, they're talking now about wobbles. I think it did wobble towards the end because we were preparing for it, and it actually hit Dade County, which, you know, those images are seared into my brain. And even though we were now on the periphery of this massive hurricane, which like nobody even talks about anymore, it was frightening. It just being on the periphery, I can't imagine anyone that, you know, is a witness to having the eye pass over you, or you know, being in that condensed circular, but what am I trying to say here? Because I'm having flashbacks of Dade County and what it looked like after. And all I remember really is this woman. I turned on the news, and this poor woman was just standing in rubble. And she was putting a plea out to her son to please come and get her, because everything was gone. She's like, I don't even know which street I'm on. Nothing was recognizable. And like, I remember this woman. She's just burned into my memory. But, the eye of the storm, I think they say that's where it's the calmest, or at least that's some kind of lesson that we need to learn. Like, stand in the eye of your storm. And then also Hurricane Sandy. I had family in New York, and I was actually in New York the day of the evening that Sandy hit. So, and I was saying to my ex-husband, we were actually in New York because it was the 1-year anniversary of my mother-in-law's death. And I kept saying to my ex-husband, let's go. People are evacuating from this. And they were like, we're New Yorkers. We're tough. It was that mentality. Kind of like some Floridians that, I remember also, preparing for this hurricane, and people were having hurricane parties. Like, they're just oblivious to the danger. It's like, we're Floridians. We can, no, you can't. And I have to say too, that, I don't know if it was a weatherman or a weather center that actually put a visual out of a weatherman giving you visuals of what 3 feet of water looks like. At 3 feet of water, you're not going anywhere. The cars are floating in the street. You're not going anywhere. Now imagine a wall of water that is 6 foot. And for some of us, we're underwater. And then now they're calling for a 10-foot surge. And they did them. You could look, it's going all over social media. And I'm like, why didn't anyone do this sooner? To give people a visual of, like, we do all these movies in CGI. Give people a visual of what, you're trying to explain here. And I bet you they hightail it out quicker, because there was still this young girl this morning. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, you're a young girl. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. The roads are backed up, and they did shoot to people trying to evacuate from Florida. And one girl said, I have gone 60 miles she's going 40 miles in 6 hours. There's no movement. Everyone is trying to get out. And I don't blame them. This is a race for your life at this point, because with a 10-foot surge and Florida is flat. And, like I was telling you guys, I was in New York for my mother-in-law's, anniversary mass. And I kept saying to my ex-husband, we got to go. And they're, oh, we're New Yorkers. We're going to hang back. Well, don't worry about it. Well, most of them were on the roof when Sandy hit. And I'm not kidding you. Sandy hit. One of my relatives lives in Long Island, right between the bay and the ocean, and between the full moon and the surge. The water was coming into the home, and he went to the second floor, and then he was on the roof. And terrified, it's one thing to decide to stay, but you were already in Manhattan. Why did you go back to Long Island? I remember that night. I don't really, I can't really take anything. I take an aspirin. It's like I got to go lay down because it affects my system is so sensitive. But that night I took a Valium, and then I took another one, and it did nothing. My nerves were shot. I was like, we just went to your mother's anniversary, and I really felt as though we were going to be getting the news that our family just didn't survive. They survived 9/11, walked over the Brooklyn Bridge, but there was no way that I was like, there's no way that they're surviving this. There's just no way. There's no way. So frightening. Yeah, you could have never, during that terrorist attack, you could have never got me over the Brooklyn Bridge. No way. And I have more putty on my little canvas here. Let me see if I can get this up. And then I could just pick it off. It kind of just, it bunches it up so that you could just pull it off. It just drives me nuts. And it just smears everywhere. Maybe I should just put the alcohol on the tweezer. How about that? Oh, there you go. Another tip. See, that's what's getting on my... I love these pens because they're always ready to go. You know, when you're ready, they're ready. There we go. Okay. Come on, stop. It gets to a point, you know when your putty gets to that point that it's dirty and it's just, it's like, oh, I wish you could just, we have to dirty it up. Fresh putty, you have to dirty up. You tap it on your shirt sleeve or something like that, or even on your arm to get the oils in there. So, everyone, please just be safe. I really don't want to turn the you guys know my TV is never on, ever. I was doing music, but since I've been monetized, there's so many rules, and I just don't want a chance having music playing in the background. Oh, I love how shiny these drills are. These are my skinny placers, and I put a little community post up that I had broken another one. Now, I had used that one a really long time, and Diamonds and Doxies was like, oh no, do you have the Diamond Art Club skinny placers? I use them. I love them. I'm like, here they are. Here they are. We're in a love-hate relationship. Diamond and Doxy, please do a tutorial how you use this thing. It doesn't want to pick up my round drills. And I think you have to really just like kind of pick them up on the side. Like I just pushed it in this way. I don't know, I'll see. So I answered her back this morning. I'm like, we're in a love-hate see? We're in a love-hate relationship. It's complicated. And then, well, I got up this morning because you guys know it had to be last Wednesday. The debacle with the trash outside. Oh, look at this. It's working. I don't even want to say it out loud. That, the trashman, one of the trashmen came around early and put all the trash in the street, but he put it between parked cars. And so anybody pulling in and out, they were hitting the trash bags. And I was outside. If I wasn't filming, I would have had receipts for that. Trust me. So one of my neighbors was so disgusted that he was trying to get into a parking space. So you can't, because the trashmen came around and I don't know why, they put the trash in the middle of the street. And I just don't know the common sense. Like, oh, maybe the neighbors are going to be trying to park. And we have that diagonal parking on one side and parallel on the other. And his car got caught. And he just dragged the trash down the street. And so I heard the trash this morning. He woke me up. And I heard him dragging the trash cans. And I leapt out of bed and I was on my deck ready to start screaming my head off. Don't you put that trash in the street. But it wasn't. It was just the recycling. And he was making a lot of noise. And I didn't go to bed till like 3 a.m. probably. And I was not ready to get up at 7. But I figured I'm up. Phone's in my hand. Let me check YouTube. Let me see what's going on. And Lizette from Lizette Craft and Tells had a member video. And I'm a member of hers. And I was like, oh, let me see what Lizette's up to. I'll just put it down and listen, because she just talks like, if she'll tell you if she's showing you something. And I just put it down next to my pillow when I was listening to it. And she was showing you her Adorn that is stunningly beautiful. And what did I tell you guys in yesterday's video? I'm going to try and figure out how to put a signature on a canvas. Not my own. Like, this is a Klimt, and I would love to have, like, the name Klimt on the bottom over here somewhere. Maybe in this area where there's a lot of, like, this just repeating border. But be able to spell out Klimt on there. I think that that would be cool. I've seen somebody do it once, and I can't remember where I saw it at. And I was like, okay, well, you can learn how to do this. You know, you don't need to, you know, find somebody else's. It's not like she showed you how to do it, but I'd be really curious. And so now Lizette is saying that she wants to do something else on her channel. I'm like, oh, here we go. Because Lizette and I share the same brain. I go to sleep and she takes my brain, and then she goes to sleep and I take her brain. I swear, we are constantly on the same wavelength. And am I in this shot? No, you're not. And where are you? There you are. And so she's talking about she wants to get involved with a new craft. And what do you think? And I'm like, okay. I just went through this. I did a lot of investigating on this topic with YouTube. Let me tell her what I know. And while I'm writing, she's saying, please give me your advice. I do listen. I listen to everything. And she's like, Elisa Maria Designs. I'm like, I'm literally typing to you now. You know, we have the same brain. We're always thinking. We're creative. I'm like, I don't believe, nobody would believe this. No one would believe that I just woke up and I'm hearing my name over at Lizette's. So I'm like, I'm typing you right now. I'm typing a response out to you right now, and you're actually calling me out. It's so funny. Don't you love when the universe works like that, where you just, it's almost like a movie. You can't even believe, like, how synchronistic things can be. I think I got all the black. Alrighty. I'm doing all right for, you know, being in a little bit of a sleep. Having a little bit of sleep, not have as much as I wanted to. That's because I was up last night and I was listening to, I was still diamond painting. I was diamond painting Chosen, which I do with my members. And what was I diamond painting? Yeah, I was diamond painting Chosen. And it's such an easy canvas. What is this over here? Is that glue? No, okay. I thought maybe the glue had, you know, come over, but it's not. So I was listening to Cher Denise, and she is now reading, I had it with the Kennedys. I wish I had never read that book with her, because I am so upset with the Kennedys. It's like not even funny. Where are the rest of my drills here? I might have some in here. Well, let me work with what I do have out. Oh, these are not. Wrong canvas. I have drills everywhere, you guys. Everywhere. In, like, little trays everywhere. Yeah. Let me work with what I do have so I can get these out. I can get these trays put away. This is extra. Yeah. She is now talking about revenge. Let me make sure I got the right one. Wait a minute. No, this is not the right canvas. The right tray. I mean, this is the right tray. Good thing I looked. Yes, this is the right one. And I have a few strays in here that go in this one. And revenge is about Meghan Markle. Now, I'm starting to get disgusted with this read too, because I really think that we have to stop ganging up on this girl, and we need to get her help. I really do. Like, this has been a, this story that she's telling is really, see, I'm getting better at checking to see if I'm in the shot. This story is really that she's telling about this girl. I don't know anyone in their right mind that would do the things that this girl is doing. And just the self-importance that she thinks, that she has about who she is when no one knows who she is. No one knew the name Meghan Markle. No one even knew what Suits was for a long time. And she's going to these events and she's throwing her weight around like this is pre-Harry, at least that's where we're up to now. And she is, she got this company to send her to Malta. I mean, like just a free trip to Malta so that she could investigate her family heritage, because I don't know, some convoluted story. I think I might have been falling asleep at this point. But Char Denise just makes me laugh because she is like, her facial expressions at the audacity of this woman and the antics that she gets into are just unbelievable. And for me, I really think that when you see this behavior, even now, like she just went out in this red dress to a children's hospital that she wasn't invited to, but she literally crashed it. And, they're talking about her hair being dirty. I'm like, did anyone stop and think that maybe that this is a sign of her mental instability if she's not washing her? First of all, what are you doing at this event anyway? Don't you have your own children to take care of? Who takes care of these kids? You never see her with them. He's in Africa trying to heal himself, so I think that's a big clue as to what's going on in the marriage. She's not along, but there's always like this pawing and grabbing that she does with him. And the British are not like that. I know I have a few British friends. Their humor is very dry. It takes a little bit of getting used to because it sounds insulting. They swear it isn't, but that's just their humor. And they're just not touchy-feely people. And she's always pawing at him. Why am I diamond painting with the tweezers that I'm so afraid of? I just go with it. I just go with it. There's a higher power at work sometimes. And you guys know I always have a lot of diamond painting pens in my hand. That was kind of fun, actually. I think I have this locked in my subconscious when I was watching Mia. I'm calling out all my diamond painters that I listened to. I was watching Mia diamond paint with a tweezer, and I was like, how is she doing that? Okay, I'm done. Time for this pen now. Yeah, I'm thinking like, you guys are making fun of this girl's hair. Do you think like maybe it's a sign? If she's not what they were like saying, oh, she went and put this beautiful dress on. See, there's putty in there. Carolina Herrera is probably so upset that she's wearing this dress, that she's getting all this negative coverage and yada, 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 yada. Well, if she didn't do her nails and you guys are all laughing their hair is greasy, did anyone stop and think that maybe this is a sign that this girl is like mentally breaking down? And where are her children? I'm more concerned with that. Where are your kids? Who takes care of these kids? She's always out doing something. But, I mean, we don't see Kate this much. And she's the future queen. Is she the queen, future queen? Does that name change? No, right? The British titles really confuse me, because Queen Elizabeth, it wasn't King Philip. He was Prince Philip, and I think he demanded to be a prince. If you watch The Crown, there was an episode where he wanted her to make him a prince, because he said, in other words, how embarrassing that my son is going to be king and I'm his father and I'm just a prince. He was obnoxious in The Crown. I didn't like Prince Philip at all in The Crown. And I think they did a very accurate job at showing just the way it was. And there was also an episode, and you can't find it now. And if anyone did see this, please comment, and so I know that I'm not nutso. But there was an episode where he was talking to the queen, and like they had separate bedrooms, and they were in that one section where they would meet, like where they would get undressed and stuff, and then he would go in his room and she would go in hers. And he was saying how no one should be called Lilibet other than her. That was her name, and none of the children should ever have that name, or grandchildren. And she poo-pooed it, but she had that like kind of silent little smile that he's right, this is my name. And Lilibet was a nickname given by her father, King George, who used to lovingly tease her because she couldn't say her name Elizabeth. It sounded like Lilibet, and he would say, "How's my little Lilibet?" And it stuck. And it is her. It's her history. It's her name. But this snake that he went and married, Harry, they said that she asked permission if she could name her daughter Elizabeth. And then she quickly began nicknaming her Lilibet. And it's been said that the queen was furious that she named her daughter, or is it, I think the official name is Lilibet. Who knows? That the queen was furious because she didn't. When Philip died, I think he also very tenderly and endearingly called her Lilibet. I think it was too painful for anybody to refer to her as Lilibet. Now they say, oh, everyone called her Lilibet. Everyone called her Lilibet in the family, and you don't know what to believe. You don't know who's writing these articles, who's on what team. But I remember going through The Crown, and I remember that scene in The Crown. I was like, who is he to declare that no one should be called? Maybe she doesn't mind, but you saw that scene where she just secretly smiled, like, yeah, it's my name, And this snake that he married, because I do think that Meghan has a way of doing exactly what you tell her not to do. She had the name Lilibet copyrighted before her daughter was even born. Okay? So what does a copyright mean? Anyone uses it and they could be sued? I don't know. I don't understand that much. But what a snake. Well, I can use the name. I have it copyrighted. And so I was listening to Cher Denise, and she was talking about Meghan and Harry's daughter, Lilibet. And as soon as she said it, my blood went cold. I was like, I can't even listen to you anymore. Anytime, I wish the press would stop referring to this child as Lilibet, because she's not Lilibet. She's not. I don't think that she should. I think if I was part of the royal family, I would have fought her tooth and nail. That she should not have that name. I mean, that was the queen. Is there no poll for the queen in England, dead or alive? Is there no poll? So, I mean, the queen couldn't declare. I'm sorry. You cannot have that name. And then there's reports that, Meghan and Harry really were not nice to the queen. I think I want to go back to my little tray here, because I really want to get these trays off my desk and clean them. They have some putty stuck to them, and they're getting a little skanky looking. Just, reading these stories about these things that this girl has done, I think the worst thing that I saw was the exchange between this poor little child, Charlotte, and her. And I was looking at when, what is it? Is it Piper? Is her sister's name Piper? Poppy? I don't know. Kate's sister. When Kate's sister got married, the little girls were dressed so cute with these little white dresses and white tights on. But Meghan didn't want the girls in tights because I think that was what the argument was about. Kate had said, are the children going to wear tights? And she was like, no. And so you see these little girls in these beautiful dresses, and they have no tights on. They have their bare little feet in these shoes. And it looks stupid. And I just don't get Harry either. Like, you know, they always said that he had a very close relationship with Kate. I mean, you have to know your sister-in-law by now. She was with your brother for how many years? You know, do you really think that Kate made Meghan cry? I don't think so. I don't think Meghan's ever shed a tear. And I just didn't like the whole, you know, the beginning of this book. She talks about, you know, how a little bit about her childhood and how her father raised her. You know, he wasn't like a hands-on parent when his first marriage, the children were his first marriage, because he was working. And now he had a little bit more time. And, you know, when he had Meghan, it was just like, give her whatever she wants. It's what he told Doria. Give her whatever she wants. If she cries, give it to her. If she needs it, buy it for her. And he did throughout her entire life. He just gave her whatever she wanted. And, you know, it came to a point in the story where he was no longer useful to her. And so she just wrote him off. And it was just really hurtful, you know, especially like I recently lost my father. And, you know, everything that this man did for you, all the strings that he, all the doors that he opened and all the strings that he pulled. And, you know, you're treating him this way. It was just so heartbreaking. Do I need this color? I don't think that I do. So I'm just going to put you back. It's easier for me to put them back into the case this way, through this drill tray. Great. I have 2 trays down off my desk. And who are you? Oh, you're black. You can go back. Oh, they've been staring at me in the corner over there. Now, the next tray that I have is the really beautiful golden metallic. But here's what I'm going to tell anybody that's doing this. If you have a section where you're putting this color in, save it for last, because they are shaped a little bit differently. They're around, but I think that they're beveled more. And if you put these in first, it seems like you have a harder time putting in these surrounding drills. So if I were to put K in here, it's going to make it harder for me to put all these other little drills in. So I'm going to hold off on these for last. And I'm so happy that I got those trays emptied. And I'm going to go with this color, the A, because I see some A's over here. Oh, these are pretty. Are these, they're not Aurora Borealis. Are they? I don't know. They kind of look like little bubbles. Aren't they gorgeous? So I was talking all this week about blue wax. And I'm just going to test my theory here. I'm going to pick up a couple and see what happens. Okay. No water. I don't need any water or anything. These don't look like these don't look like Aurora Borealis. There's not a coating on there. So the blue wax to me always seems to be oily. And I think that it has its purpose. I think that it does a good job of picking up drills like this. No problem. But if I pick up a regular drill, I feel like it's just slip sliding all over my canvas. So, okay. Blue wax, you have, and I think that maybe blue wax also is, it just has a different weight to it. And I'm wondering if different color waxes have different color weights to them. If it's more than just a color. Because I see, you know, diamond painters, they make these shorts with like, you know, loading their pen with all different color wax so that it has like a pretty effect, like a rainbow effect. This is one of my skinny placers on here. And as I was saying earlier, it broke off in my pen. And I was like, oh, another one bites the dust. But I love these skinny placers. I get them on Amazon by a company called Star Or. And for a minute there, they were back in stock, and that quickly they were gone. It's like they can't keep them in stock. And I know why, because if you use them, and I, shout them out to my members all the time and my viewers, that is so pretty. They have bought them and they like them. I'll link it for you. I am an Amazon affiliate. But I did go and check. Like, I've been an Amazon affiliate for like a minute. I sign up for these things and then I just forget about them. And, I could see where you guys go and you buy China markers. A lot of you bought the Art Dot trays, and, I'm an Art Dot affiliate, but I don't think to put the Art Dot link up. I should, being that I'm an affiliate, and give you guys a choice of which one you want to buy. But I don't see that, I see that you buy these, but I see that you guys travel around. I don't know specifically who. Let me see how the putty works. It's not like I can tell, like, oh, so-and-so bought this and that. No, it just shows, like, you had people come over and they bought Art Dot trays. And I make like 2 pennies on there. I make like, really, honestly, it's, I don't know what I'm doing. I think, like, you just want to get in the game of being an affiliate, and really, if you're not doing like mega, where you have a store and you're like mega promoting these products, you're really, forget it. You're not. It really is pennies, which is fine. It's a learning experience. That's the way I look at everything. It's a learning experience. I could say I did that. Oh, I have no check marks left. Means I have to go dig them up out of the container, and I'm not going to do that right now. I will, but not right. Oh, guys, we have some baguettes to put in, and they're not. Oh, let's get those done. I'm jumping around, but let's get those done. Am I in this shot? Those are those little baguettes. Yeah, let's get those done. And even this color here is like a crystal. Oh, let's get those done. Yeah, see, they're like a crystal. All right, let me put J in first, just so we don't have anything getting bumping into each other. Okay. I do watch this one influencer. I love her. Her name is Nikki. And I see, like, it's not picking up these drills. They're sliding all over. But it did a fine job with the glitter. They kind of look like, I don't know, they're just shiny. Anyway, Nikki, Niki. She's African American, and because I can't think of her whole name, and she does this phenomenal. She's got the best cleaning tips, and she has this phenomenal home, and she's like constantly cleaning. I don't know how this girl gets anything done. Well, she gets it done because she has like all the right tools, right? She just has all the right tools for whatever it is that she is doing. I'm like, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh my God, I want that. Here it is. Like that other guy that I watch. I forget his name too, but is he British? And he's like, just take my money. Here's my wallet. Take it all. When I watch Nikki, that's the way that I am. I'm like, just here, take all my money. Take it. Give it to me. I want it. She had this little thing. She unboxed it and she put it in the corner. Like, she's got like 1 million followers every time she puts something up. So, girlfriend's making money. And she put this little, stand up in her corner, and she filled it up with like, I don't know, soapy kind of things. I don't know. And then, she puts it in the corner. She's washing her dishes, and this little thing is just humming around, picking up stains. You know, there's just spill over here. Let me stop here for a minute. You know, it's like having another set of hands. Oh, man. My kid was so good growing up. He really was. He never really touched anything. Like, I used to go into my friend's house, and I'd be like, oh, my God, there'd be, like, chocolate fingerprints everywhere. But my kid was good. I mean, he was just neat. You know, he was just neat. He was a neat kid. And I think, you know, your kids sense everything. And I was a single mom. And he was always, you know, they're observant. They know. Don't think that your kids don't know. They know. They know. And he would be like, Mommy, I'll get it for you. I'll help you. That's the kind of kid he was. Me and John were busting on him the other day. I was telling him about how cute he was as a kid. I don't even know what brought the conversation up while we were talking to him as a kid, because he was like, all right, now I'm leaving. And I was telling John, like, all the cute things that he used to say. And when we lived in Florida, he hated the cactus that I had. It was this big cactus, and it stood in the corner. And to him, he was scared to death of it. Please get rid of the cactus. He couldn't say cactus, so he said cactus. Please get rid of the cactus. I'm afraid of it. So I had to get rid of the cactus. Of course, I got rid of the cactus. My kid was afraid of it. And what else did he used to say? He couldn't say Q-tips, so he used to say two-tips, which I think I should write Q-tips and tell them to change their name. I'll pull a Meghan Markle. You know, because her father doted on her so much that he really made her believe that it was her writing a letter to Palmolive that made them change the advertisement that they had, because she wrote, you know, Palmolive, and all that's been debunked. You know, evidently, Palmolive had a commercial that said, "Women everywhere are fighting grease," and she used to go to work with her father on a Friday, and he was the lighting director for General Hospital, and so she was always privy to these conversations that the castmates were talking about, and at the time it was like women were like you know, becoming more independent, working outside of the home. They wanted equal pay and jobs, and you know, she heard this commercial, and supposedly one of the boys in class said, yeah, that's where the women belong, in the kitchen. And she told her dad about it, and you know, she wanted to know what she could do about it. You know, listening to all these women on the set, you know, what they were doing to, you know, make sure that they got equal pay, and you know, and he's like, well, you know, you could write people, you could write your congressman, and evidently she wrote Hillary Clinton, and you could write Palmolive. And she claims that she heard back from everyone, and that her father then shot a video of her writing these letters, and Palmolive then said, you know, we got this letter from Miss Meghan Markle, and you know, we thought about it, and we really should change the slogan to "People everywhere are fighting grease, not just women." And you know, he made her believe, you know, because she was his little girl and she was his little princess, and he wanted her to feel inspired and courageous and confident, and like, look, you made a change, Megan. But he took it a step too far, you know. This kid is going out into the world telling everybody that she's responsible for Palmolive dishwashing lotion liquid changing their slogan. And then I was listening to Cher Denise tell this story, and she's like, she's got 3 stories in her life that she tells everywhere. And this is one of them, like, you know, the Palmolive dishwashing liquid slogan. And I was just hysterical listening to her go on and on and on. She's like, like, when is she going to come to the realization that, you know, it wasn't her that changed the slogan of this commercial? You know, she was a part of it, but, you know, why did they come and interview and say, oh, well, we really love what this little girl said. This 11-year-old, because she makes sure that she lets everybody know, I was 11 years old and I was making a difference in the world. Well, you were. You really were. I mean, you did put some thought into it. And You did ask your father what you could do, you know? But, he just doted on her. And then there was like another chapter where she said she was part of the, for those of us for those of us old enough to remember the Rodney King riots, which was horrible. A trucker was beaten by police officers, and it started a riot in Los Angeles, and her father was very concerned for the way things were going, the rioting and the looting, and he had asked Doria to leave with him, that he was going to pick Meghan up from school, and I'm going out to Palm Beach and come with me. And she was like, no, I'm fine here. And so he picked Meghan up from school. He didn't want her to be exposed to this. It was dangerous and it was frightening. Of course, if you could avoid your child witnessing something like that, you're going to do it. And, she then came up with this story about how, I'm sure she remembers the riots from news programs, but now she has this story where she went outside. She was with her mother, and she wasn't with her mother. She was with her father. She went outside with her mother, and all this white ash was falling from the sky, and that she told her mother, look, Mommy, it's snowing outside. And her mother said, no, my little flower, that's not snow. Come back in. Okay? And the father is just like, what the hell is she talking about? She didn't witness any of the riots. I scooped her up from school and took her right to Palm Beach, where she was like in a beautiful hotel. I mean, like, who's lying here? I'm having a hard time with it, especially when, she got married. That was the other convoluted story. She got married, and she wanted no evidence of her marriage, even though it was a destination wedding. They got married in Jamaica, and she didn't want any evidence that she was married. She took the wedding tape from the photographer, destroyed it that evening, okay, and had no one that was invited to the wedding. You were not allowed to take pictures. And they said the only surviving pictures, are those that her father took, because he was now on a fixed income, and he cashed in some of, his stocks that he had to give her $20,000 towards her wedding, to the wedding when she married Trevor. And he was like, what the hell she's talking about? Don't take any pictures. It's her wedding. I'm going to take pictures. And he did it in a very sneaky way. He took pictures. So the only surviving evidence is from Thomas Markle, that she was ever married. Because why are you hiding that? And then, like, right after that, she, like, sends him, it's like just crazy behavior. She sends him a letter, and inside is her wedding band and her engagement ring. Like, toodles. I'm a big star now on Suits, and, really don't need you anymore. We got picked up for another season. I was making $50,000. Now I'm making $75,000 a year, and don't need you. But in the meantime, when she was making $50,000 and living on location, she still had her husband, paying for everything. Her husband and her father. Her father bought her a car, and she was like, oh, you're going to pay for the gas, right? Can you imagine a grown woman? So I just think that there's a lot that is unhinged with this woman, and that she definitely needs some kind of help. And they should stop making fun of her and get it, because this is very extreme behavior, what she's doing. Going to a children's hospital dressed the way she was dressed. Why are you dressed like that? In this red Carolina Herrera gown with a big slit and your boobs hanging out. I don't get it. And they do talk about how inappropriately she dresses for most things. Like, this is case in point for sure. Okay, I'm going to put these V's in, because now that's all that's left. And then we're going to put those little baguettes in. Look at how pretty these are. Should we use the blue wax and see how that does? I think that these might be a little slippery. not doing the job that it did before. Let's look at the putty again. The putty sometimes doesn't want to let go. I have some Dreamer Design wax in my faux glass pen. I may have to read, but I like the point on this pen. They're not all the same. Some of them are a little longer, and I think that's why I like, but it's not picking up, why I like this point here, because it gets into those tight spots because the neck is slimmer. And this is Dreamer Design wax. Doing a nice job. Dreamer Design wax. I have the plastic on this side, so I'm just going to place that right on there. I can do that. It won't stick. Just in case I have to keep, like, you know, dipping my pen. So as soon as I'm done this, I have to call my mother because, you know, she wants to give me the blow-by-blow, I'm sure, about, you know, the hurricane. Just be thankful that you're not there, because I loved living in Florida and it's my dream to go back. I'm going back in April. You know, even after Hurricane Andrew and all that, you know, you just have to be smart about, you know, your surroundings and, you know, having an evacuation site to go to. We had one. We went because, like, we didn't know, you know, I wasn't taking any chances. I had my little boy with me. You know, I wasn't taking any chances. And I lived on the first floor of the complex that I moved into. And so if anybody was going to get water, it was going to be me. And I didn't want to terrify my son, having him see water coming in and us being in any kind of danger. So I went to an evacuation site. You know, you're new to an area. You don't know. You just feel safer with people. Like when I moved to Florida, into that area, I didn't know anything, and I became like a school mom, and I went on all my son's school trips because that's how I learned the area and like where they were going and different neighborhoods. And you know, in this situation, what do I know about a hurricane? I'm from South Philly. We don't have hurricanes. Well, we didn't at the time, but I didn't know what to do. Kept looking at that big map on the wall, my little son's little push pins and the map. Oh my God. Oh, and I didn't drink at the time either. It's like I had, you know, I'm afraid of an aspirin. I don't drink. And, you know, I'm looking at this big map on the wall, my little son's little push pins in it, and thinking, oh my God, where did I take us at? You know, but, you know, we had a lot of damage. And it's, you know what else is really freaky about a hurricane? And what I vividly remember is how still everything was. Still. Just like, there's no movement. All the life is gone. Like, the trees don't move. There's no breeze. It's like the hurricane. I remember saying to my dad, I'm like, it's like the hurricane is just sucking the air out of everything. Like you would see like the little geckos, you would see ducks. They were all gone. They were gone. The water looked like glass in the pond. It wasn't moving. It just looked like glass. It was so hard. I felt like I was trapped in an oil painting. That's what it felt like. I felt like I was trapped in a picture, like this was something out of the Twilight Zone. And then it comes in, and all you want is for it to be over. When is it going to stop? And it just like, I remember that thing, like just, and I had images of, you know, the newscaster and showing you this hurricane, how it would just turn and move and turn and move. And I'm like, this thing is over us. It's just turning. It's going to be there. Think about how long it was there when you were watching it on TV. Oh. And I do remember us having to like put our, you know, if you didn't have anywhere to put your lawn furniture, you put it in the pool. You take everything down. Everything is, you know, is going to be a flying object at this point. You have to get everything out of the way. Just slid across the canvas with that one. Oh, what am I doing here? Back to the tweezer. Okay, do we have any more? Oh yeah, we do have a few. They're in her. Oh, I don't want to put them in. Can I put them in there? No. I don't want to put them in there. Let's go for these baguettes. I have not seen them yet. Okay. Oh, they're so pretty. I really should have my jewels on, Adele. I'm sorry. For this, for your little baguettes and stuff. So it's number 5 and number 6. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of V's over there. Okay, well, look at them later. Let's do 6. Oh my gosh, look at these, you guys. I love this kit. I love it. This is number 6. I'm going to pick it up with the putty. I'm dying. Oh my God. Maybe we should use the tweezer. Oh, that one's in the way. See, I'm glad I did it the way that I did it. Now, I am going to use a tweezer because I see a little bit of putty on there, and I'm going to those are in alignment. Why does that color look different? No, that's not the right color. Okay. Do I want that little gap in between? See that little gray in there? Because it's really like the square to place this. No, I'm going to align it that way. I'm going to go with the line that's there. Yeah, I like it better that way. Okay, continue. Now see this guy move over. There we go. What can I use to? Wow. That is in there really tight. I just hope it doesn't pop. Okay, I wanted to get you guys close enough to see all this being done and not lose, you know, any of the surface, you know what I mean? Like, Right on time, the trash man. Oh gosh, so pretty. Yep, so that's what I've been listening to in my free time. Cheer Denise. I went from the crazy Kennedys to now, this girl that I believe needs help more than anything. She needs help. I know my husband is watching The Old Man with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow, and he is like, I've never heard my husband, just scream like at the surprises and the twists and turns of anything. It's psychological, and he loves shows like that, so he's watching that. I don't know if anybody's watching that. And I am watching Nobody Wants This on Netflix with Kristen Bell. But I want to get back to my Bridgerton. I've watched all the episodes, and now I am just fascinated by Queen Charlotte. Oh, I love Queen Charlotte. I love her. I love that hair. I love her outfits. Great wardrobe. Oh, but I want to know the story. So, I'll be getting into that probably, hopefully today. If I find a minute to watch something, that is. Who am I kidding? I really felt overwhelmed beginning this week, where I just was like, there's a lot of stuff that is important to me that seems to be falling to the wayside. Because there's only so much time in a day, and you have to pick and choose what it is that you're going to engage in. And you can't always do everything that you want to do. And when John and I went out over the weekend, we did a lot of dancing and stuff. And it just felt so good, because I'm usually in the house. I might take a walk, but, I miss that, cardio kind of impact that you get. And yesterday, when we came home over the weekend, he sang with an orchestra on Sunday. Yeah. And they were amazing. Oh my God, they were so good. And let me see if I could pick these up with the wax here. And they did Bruce Springsteen, and oh God, they just did a great job. And they had everybody up, dancing and moving and shaking and you name it. I have some underneath here. Am I going to be in this shot? Yeah. And I felt it. I got up the next day. I was like, John, how can we have such a good time and I cannot move my body today from all the dancing that we did? And he's like, I know, I feel it, and I got to go to work. I'm climbing, steps and stuff like that, delivering packages and stuff. I felt so bad. And then, I recuperated on Monday. I lost my voice. I didn't have my member thing. And then last night, I decided I was going to do an hour-long Zumba class, and it felt so good. And I went upstairs, I took a shower, and there's like this bone popping out of my knee now. Here's where you just sit back now, and you just watch as your body just starts to fall apart. I'm like, is this the age that I'm at now where things just like, oh, you want to dance? Well, here you go. This is what's hiding in your body when you're not dancing. And my knee is killing me this morning. Killing me. Because I'm dancing around Zumba. John came home. He's like, what are you doing, hon? The music, I could hear from outside. I'm like, I'm Zumba-ing. I'm doing my Zumba. He's like, that's great. I'm so happy. I know you've been trying to get your do some yoga. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I can, squeeze something in that's not yoga, And I was so proud of myself. I did like 6,000 steps on my Fitbit, and I sat back down at the chair to finish a little bit more of Chosen that I'm working on. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. I was like, oh my God, my knee is killing me. I'm laughing about it. He came home to check on me, and he came up the steps with a ice pack. I'm like, why are you here? He said, I came home to check and see how you are, and I brought you up an ice pack. I'm like, John, I told you I would put the ice pack on when I was sitting behind the desk, just diamond painting. No, do it now. Put it back in the freezer and then do it again. Because he knows me. It'll take me a while to get down the steps because I get up in the morning and I have to do what I have to do before I do anything, which is like, vacuum the upstairs, wipe down the bathroom, get the laundry. There's always laundry. It never stops. It's like the mail. I'm like, John, how could this pamper be full when I just did all the laundry yesterday? I swear he hides clothes. Well, he does hide clothes because there's just no way that I have laundry, again, in the basket after I cleaned everything. He's cleaning out his locker at work. So, are you going to give me a hard time getting in there? And he's given a lot of his stuff away. But he's coming home with stuff too. These big jackets from the post office. Oh. John owns the majority of the closet space in here. I'm very basic. He's got an outfit for everything. Well, that's an interesting little cluster, isn't it? Over here. I do like that you almost have to set them like a jeweler. What does that look like? Am I in the shot? It's this guy here. Yeah, I'm going over here. Okay. Now I hear my neighbors next door. I'm sure you can hear them. These walls are like tissue paper, and I'm not used to it because in my house, like, I had everything insulated and like just like, I didn't hear anything. Here we go. Oh my God, they're so loud. Nothing I could do about it. Can I bang on the wall like they do in New York? They would literally bang on your wall in New York. They'd be like, shut up. You gotta claim your piece in New York, my girlfriend told me. Early on, she told me. You gotta claim your piece of New York. If not, everybody will trample on your piece. Set you. Oh my gosh. I'm so fascinated, and I can't wait to hang this portrait and I'm gonna just sit there and stare at it and just be like, all these little gems and stuff and how gorgeous they are. Guys, you know I'm going to be back here with a rag, right? With my sprayway. Oh gosh, are you in there? I wish I could, like, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, like, as clearly as I'm seeing it here. Because when I'm looking up, it just looks like a bunch of bubbles. But how beautiful, how stunning is this coming along? And I feel like I save a lot of the, I didn't even put the gold in yet, the K. I feel like I save a lot of this for you guys. And then what I will do, see, this comes right off. What I will do is I will cover this. I won't go any further here because I want you guys to, you know, see these all go in. But I do have, what number do I have in here? I have 5, and I have some more 5s over here, but I'm going to do it at a distance. Because we're over already. How can we be over? I did watch one diamond painter. Every time she sat down with this diamond painting, she put it on, she put her camera on. I don't know if she put it on like a rapid speed or if she actually videotaped it that way. But she did this whole canvas in like 10 minutes. You know, when she did put it up, I can't remember her name. And it was, I mean, it was still stunning watching her set the drills in. And when she was done, I don't know if you guys can appreciate how beautiful this is through the camera. I would most likely, if someone like in my family said, I would love to have something like that, I would probably, you know, do it again. Well, being that my loud neighbors are in my head now, I'm going to bid you adieu. I am probably, well, they're stuck in the little grooves here. I am going to cover this section. I'm not going to go any further. So when you come back next week, or who knows, you know what, guys? Here's what I'm going to tell you. Oh, I thought I broke it. No, it's just a round draw. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I do Rico on Throwback Thursday. So last week when I said goodbye to you guys, Rico, I went a little bit further. Like I'm kind of filling in these like little dull patches. You know, they all come together eventually, but I was like, let me fill it in and then I'll save like the interesting parts for when I'm videotaping. And I went and looked at what I would be doing this week, and 2 of the drills are wiped out. And this is not the first time with Dreamer Designs. I love Dreamer Designs. Let me just cover this. I love Dreamer Designs. What I don't like is I have been very recently missing a lot of drills from them. And you know, I have to go and order them. And so I don't know, maybe I won't take Rico out tomorrow. Maybe I'll throw it back to Wednesday and we'll continue with the jewels. So if that sounds acceptable and you're like, yes, continue with the jewels, continue with this fascinating dress. Because the dress, her gown just gets even more fascinating with the evil eyes that are in there and all. If you're like, yes, do that. I'd like to see that. Then that's where I'll stay. If you are like, no, pick a different part of Rico. We love our Rico, and I know everybody loves Rico. Everybody loves Rico. And I still have that one block of color blocking that I have to do with him, but I have my notes for the color blocking. I don't have to do it with Rico. I just thought it would be interesting to do that hunk of color blocking with Rico, because the foreground, the background is the color blocking and the foreground is the lace that I put in. So I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys let me know, and I'll put like a little community post up, and you guys can vote and be like, no, we want Rico, or no, please continue on with this stunning gown that Adela is wearing. And whatever happens, I will do just that tomorrow morning. Okay, so I'm getting ready to say goodbye, and they just got quiet. I already have my candles lit. There they are. I have Jesus, my father, my great-grandmother, and my guardian angel candles lit because it was a hell of a morning. And I didn't even know if I was going to be videotaping this morning. But I'm glad that I did because I got my mind off of why the candles are lit. Say a prayer for me. It's all good. I'm healthy. Just say a prayer for me. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Keep creating that world you want to live in.